Hello students, in this video I am going to cover the concept of loop analysis or mesh analysis and super mesh. So first of all we will see the concept of loop analysis. Now as we know, KVL is used to find out unknown currents in the circuit. Like that, the loop analysis or mesh analysis is also used to find out unknown currents in the circuit, but these currents are mainly the loop currents, and whenever we consider Kirchhoff's law we always consider branch currents. So this is main difference in between Kirchhoff's law and loop analysis. Now while writing the equation we always consider loop currents for the loop analysis. And other difference in between Kirchhoff's law and loop analysis is that now as we know, whenever we consider the loop current, we know the concept of loop current now. So whenever we consider loop current in any network, at that time the common branches are also present in that network. So for that common branches, two or more currents are present in that branch. So at that time total current flowing through that common branch is always the algebraic sum of the currents which are associated with that branch. So this means that for loop analysis, that branch may carry more than one current, but for Kirchhoff's law, each branch carries only one current. And this method is mainly used to find out the circuit, to find out the current in the circuit which are having many nodes and loops. Now to get an idea, we'll consider one network. This is a network on the screen, A, B, C, D, E, F, A. So in that network the two loops are present, loop A, B, E, F, A and B, C, D, E, B. So as two loops are there, two loop currents are present in the network. So we'll assume I1 is loop current 1 and I2 is the loop current 2. So now while assuming the loop currents, we have to consider loops in such a way that each elements of the network will be present or will be included at least once in any of the loop. Okay, so here R1, R3 and V1 are the elements for loop 1, and R2, V2 and R3 are the elements in loop 2. Okay, so these are the two loops. Now in that loop BE is a common branch. Okay, so for BE now we are going to find out the current, the total current which is associated with that branch BE. Now while considering loop 1, at that time, see, I1 will be the main current in the loop 1 and I2 is also associated with R3. So according to the flow of current, first of all we are going to give all the sign conventions. See, the flow of current is in clockwise direction, so we are going to give all the sign conventions according to that. So here, as I1 is also flowing through R3 and I2 is also flowing through R3, but as we are considering loop 1, so for loop 1 I1 flows from B to E. So B terminal will be marked as a positive terminal and E terminal I'm going to mark it as a negative terminal. Okay, so here I1 as I1 is in clockwise direction, so and it is a main current in loop 1, so we always consider main current as a positive and other currents are negative. So here while writing the equation for loop 1, at that time the total current which is flowing through BE, common branch BE, will be I1 minus I2 for loop 1. Okay, and as the current is flowing from B to E, so it will be the B is marked as positive and E will be the marked as negative. So it is I1 minus I2 for loop 1. Now while considering loop 2, at that time what will happen? Now for loop 2, see, this is the I2 is flowing through loop 2, and for I2 E terminal is positive and B terminal is negative. So I2 is main current in loop 2 now. So we are going to consider I2 as a positive and other currents are negative. So while doing the algebraic sum, so it is I2 minus I1. This will be our equation, I2 minus I1, and the flow of current is from positive to negative, that is nothing but from terminal E to B. So this will be our equation for the common branch. So we are, as we have found out the current in the common branch, now we can easily write the equation for loop 1 as well as loop 2. Now while writing the equation or while doing loop analysis, we have to remember some points, main points, such that we have to choose minimum number of loop currents. Okay, no two loops should be identical. This is another main point. And if the current source is present, we are going to convert that source into the voltage source by using source transformation. Okay, so these are some main point or important point while doing the loop analysis. Now we are going to write the equation for each loop. Now first of all we'll consider first loop A B E F A, as we have already given the sign conventions, and so that we can get the potential drop and potential rise in that loop, in the particular loop. So we are going to write down the equation. Now here the minus I1 into R1 is a potential drop for loop 1. See, minus I1 into R1, and the next is minus in bracket I1 minus I2 into R3 is another potential drop, and here the energy source will be the potential rise. So minus I1 R1 minus in bracket I1 minus I2 into R3 plus V1 will be our equation 1 for loop 1. And we are going to write another equation for loop 2. So the second equation will be minus, see here it is minus I2 into R2 minus V2 minus R3 in bracket I2 minus I1 is equal to 0 according to the KVL, according to law of KVL. So by using this we have already written the equations, and by solving this simultaneously we can get the value of I1 and I2, which are the loop currents in that. So to get an idea, I am going to use one numerical. This is a numerical in that the find current flowing through AB using Kirchhoff's loop analysis for circuit shown in figure. This is a figure in that, see, the 2 ohm, 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 1 ohm, 3 ohm and 5 ohm are the different resistors present in the circuit, and we have to find out the current which is flowing through branch AB. That is nothing but we are going to find out the current which is flowing through 5 ohm resistor. Okay, so our very first step is, as we are using loop analysis, we are going to give loop currents. We are going to show the loop current. This is our first step. So as two loops are present in this network, I1 and I2 will be the two currents present in the network. Now the next step is we are going to give all the sign conventions for that network by using the flow of current. Now the flow of current is in clockwise direction. According to that, we are going to give the sign conventions. Now by applying all the sign conventions, we can get the potential drop and potential rise in the network or in the loop. Now in this case, by getting all the sign conventions and potential drop and potential rises, we can apply KVL to solve the two loops. Okay, so we are going to apply KVL for loop 1 as well as loop 2 by getting two equations. As the two unknowns are there, by solving them simultaneously we can easily get the values of I1 and I2, and in branch AB the I2 is flowing, and hence we can get the answer. So here first of all we'll write the equation for loop 1. Now loop 1, I1 is flowing through that, so it will be the minus, see, it is minus 2 into I1. The next is, see, minus 6, that is nothing but the potential drop is there. Here the potential drop is present, and this is the voltage source. So we are going to take as it is, even though it is in common branch. So it is minus 6, and now the resistor is present in the common branch, so it is minus, to get the potential potential drop in that, it is minus in bracket I1 minus I2, and the next is plus 12 is equal to 0. Now by solving this, simplifying this, we can get the equation as 3I1 minus I2 is equal to 6. This is our equation 1. Now we are going to write the equation for loop 2. The loop 2 is CAB. In that is nothing but the C is the common node. Now in this case, now we are going to write the equation by using main current I2, loop current. So this is minus 3 into I2 minus 5 into I2, and here the next will be minus it is minus in bracket, here it is minus in bracket I2 minus I1. Now I2 is a main current, so it is minus I2 in bracket I2 minus I1 plus 6 is equal to 0. So this will be our equation 2. See over here, it is minus 3 into I2 minus 5 I2 minus in bracket I2 minus I1 plus 6 is equal to 0. Now again by simplifying this equation, we can get the simplified equation as minus I1 plus 9I2 is equal to 6. Now by solving this simultaneously, we can get the value of I1 and I2. Here I2 is 0.923 ampere, which is nothing but current flowing through branch AP. So this is the way we can find out the current which is flowing through any branch or the loop current. Okay, so by using loop analysis. Now this is all about loop analysis. Now if the current source is present in between the loops, so at that time this is nothing but the concept of super mesh. Now for this network, as you can see, whenever the current source is present, that current source, see, as the current source is there, we cannot write the KVL equation by using that current source, because whenever the current source is there, the drop across that source is not known. So we exclude that current source and we are going to write the KVL equation for other elements in that network. So whenever we are excluding that current source, at that time, first of all, we are going to express that current source by using the loop currents which are present in the network, in particular network. Okay, and hence by giving the current source equation independently, or by writing the current source equation independently, after that we are going to exclude that current source branch, and then we are going to apply KVL to the other elements, or we are going to write KVL equation for the other elements. Now here the network is present, network A, B, C, D, E, F, A, and in that network BE is having the current source. So current source I ampere is present in branch BE. So first of all, we are going to write the current source equation independently, and by assuming, or we are going to write that current source equation in terms of the loop currents. So first of all, in such case, first of all, we are going to write the current source equation. So here the current source equation is I is equal to I2 minus I1. Now why it is I2 minus I1? Because I2, the flow of loop current 2 is in same direction as that of current source I. So I2 is more than I1. So it is I2 minus I1. So I ampere is equal to I2 minus I1. Now this is our equation 1. Now exclude this branch. Now by excluding this branch, the complete loop will be now A, B, C, D, E, F, A. This will be the complete loop. Now by considering this complete loop, we are going to A, B, C, D, E, F, A. This is nothing but our super mesh, because we are excluding this branch BE. Okay, and we are going to apply KVL to this super mesh. Before applying the KVL, we are going to assign this signs to each and every element according to the flow of current, and by giving all the sign conventions, after that we are going to write the equation. So here I is equal to I2 minus I1, this will be the our super mesh. Now by giving all the sign conventions and by writing the equation, we can easily get the values of the current which is flowing through the two loops, that is nothing but I2 and I1, because the first equation is I2 minus I1, I is equal to I2 minus I1, and second equation will be from KVL. So by using that two equations, two unknowns are there, by solving them simultaneously we can easily find the equation. To get an idea, I am having one example. See, this is the example. In that the 3 ohm, 4 ohm and 3 ohm are the three resistors, and 5 ampere is a current source present in between two loops. Now at that time we are going to write the equation for this current source by assuming I1 and I2. Okay, so by considering I1 and I2, I2 is in same direction as that of 5 ampere, so it will be I2 minus I1 is equal to 5. This is our first equation. Okay, so first, before writing the current source equation, first of all, as we are giving the loop currents, and according to that loop currents we are assigning the polarities to each and every element in the network. Okay, so here minus the current, first of all the first loop current is flowing in the clockwise direction and other is also in the clockwise direction, so it is the current according to that we are giving all the sign conventions. So here the for 3 ohm, 4 ohm and again for the 3 ohm we have given all the signs. So this will be our second step. Next step is, now before applying KVL we are going to write the current expression. As I said before only, it is I2 minus I1 is equal to 5 ampere. Now I have written this independently. Now I am going to exclude this branch. Now by excluding this branch, see, now I am going to write KVL only for the outer loop. Now this outer loop is having 3 ohm, 4 ohm, 3 ohm and 20 volt in that. So by applying KVL to this super mesh and by following all the sign conventions, this minus 3I1, this is a voltage drop. Next is minus 4I2 minus 3I2 plus 20 is equal to 0. See, only the outer loop is there, minus 3I1. Next is minus 4 into I2. The next one is minus 3 into I2. And the last one is plus 20 is equal to 0. Okay, so this is our equation 2. By simplifying this equation, we can get it as minus 10 into I1 minus 15 is equal to 0. Now why it is like that? Because I already know the equation for I2 and I1. I2 minus I1 is equal to 5 ampere. So from that I can put the value of any of the current in this equation, and I can simplify the equation and can get the value of I1 and I2. Now whenever the I1, if I am getting the value of I1 as negative, that is nothing but here it is minus 1.5 ampere and it is in downward direction. Now if you want to write this current with a positive sign, you are just going to reverse the direction of the current. So here I1, I can write it as 1.5 ampere and in bracket the direction of the current is there. So here the direction will be now upward. Now by putting that value in the equation 1, I can get the value of I2 also. But just remember, while writing the final value of I1 and I2, you are going to write the direction in the bracket. It is compulsory. So this is all about loop analysis and mesh analysis and super mesh. Thank you.